Welcome, Prospect football fans, to Week 9 of Prospect Football Weekly, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Mount Prospect. Coach Sebastian, thanks for coming on for the last week.
Not a problem, Jack. Happy spreadsheet day for you there right now. Get your Excel documents ready to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. So, what did the offense do especially well against Elk Grove to score your highest point total this season?
I think we did a better job of executing our game plan, moving the ball a little bit. Our blocking in terms of what we were doing up front was pretty good. Michael obviously had a very nice game, but all across the board we had multiple guys touch the ball, multiple guys were able to get in the end zone. We had a couple other opportunities obviously to score for the passing game. We had one called back, a touchdown pass that Jimmy threw to Nick Ergostolo. So there's some really good things that kind of happened, and hopefully we can continue to execute during the practice week to get ourselves to the point where we can be successful come Friday night again.
Okay. How important was it for you to get everyone in the game in their last home game this year?
One of the goals that the team has every week is to try to get everyone into a ball game. At some point you'd like to have everyone who is practiced during a week be able to play football, and I think that was important to the kids, so therefore it was very important to us. It's nice for the seniors in their last home game to get a chance to play. We've had a couple guys that have been through the program for 4 years who have never stepped onto a field on a Friday night in a varsity game, who now got a chance to do that on Friday. So that was good. We were really excited that we were able to do that.
Okay. What kind of momentum has the team built up now, 2 wins in a row?
Well, I think it's important to know that we can be successful when we execute during the practice week, on a Friday night. But again, that momentum only carries you so far. You have to go back to work, come Monday with the practice week, which we've obviously started to do again already. And I think really the momentum is, what are you going to do in practice this week? Momentum doesn't really carry from game to game. Momentum carries from practice week to game. So we've got to have a solid practice week to get ourselves ready for Friday.
Okay, so it's another nice performance from the team's defense, only allowing 7 points combined in the last 2 weeks. What did they do so well to shut out Elk Grove?
Not let them score. Coach Collins, and you'll get a chance to talk with Coach Collins a little bit later, does a great job of getting a game plan put together, and our kids have done a fantastic job, I think, most of the year of executing that. We've had some rough spots, as all defenses do, but our defense has carried us this year. The plan that they've put together schematically, the execution by our kids, the mentality of an attacking nature that they've taken this year has been vital to our success. I think they've, if you look at each individual person by themselves, you sit there and you go, okay, there's no one overly spectacular by themselves playing our defense. But the holistic look, the sum of the parts, the 11 kids, 12 kids, 13 kids that rotate through who end up working together and play as a unit together makes us a dramatically better defense. Some people know, okay, hey, they got this guy. Great, wonderful. You don't really say that a lot about our defense, but you do see a defense that does fly around the ball and attack. We are better together than any of our parts would be by themselves, and I think they believe in that, and they play that way, which is why I think they've been successful for the majority of the season.
Okay, so you were able to mix some guys in at different positions, for example, like Adam Mackey and Anthony Santangelo at running back. How did that help the development of the team looking ahead to next year?
Well, I think it's just a good opportunity for some of these young kids to get a chance to play a little bit. Adam starts on defense, so to have him involved there is good. Jack Friedrichs played some running back and scored. Santangelo, who's our kicker, played some running back and was able to score late. But just to get a lot of these young guys more opportunities. They play JV games. We haven't unfortunately been able to play a JV game the last 2 weeks just because of numbers issues from our opponents. So to get them into that game, I think was important, and you hope that that's going to help carry some weight into next season. But I think the biggest thing for a lot of these kids is going to be, as it is every year, they've got to attack an off season if they're going to parlay that into more success as juniors and seniors.
Okay, thank you, Coach Sebastian. And next up is our player interview with Thacker.
Welcome back to Prospect Football Weekly, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings in Mount Prospect. I'm here with defensive back Yash Thacker. Yash, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Describe the atmosphere after securing a win in your last home game as a Knight.
It was just very exciting. We got to sing to our crowd at home one last time. But while we celebrated, we knew that we had one more game and our season wasn't over yet. So we just had to get back to work Monday and just get it ready for Hershey.
Absolutely. What did the defense do especially well to shut down Oak Grove?
We just did what we always do and just attack their offense. That's been our mindset the entire year. We let our guys up front, our linebackers, Keen, Shafis, our D-line, Cooch, Sakula, and Larson, just go to work, just attack the quarterback, put some pressure on, and the DBs just had to drop into coverage. But although we did play, we have to give credit to our defensive staff of Coach Collins, Coach Don, and Coach Argentine.
How have you tried to help out sophomore Zach Zai get used to playing defensive back this year?
The kid just wants to play. He loves to learn and just get better at football. He started off at corner, which is where Anthony and I kind of helped ease him in. But then we need him at safety, and he just did a great job transitioning over and just plays very well.
How will the defensive backs try to limit Hershey's quarterback this week?
We know he can throw. He's probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks we faced all year. So we just have to be very attuned to what we're doing, take our drops, play coverage very well, and just let the guys up front attack.
What do you think has contributed to the team winning 2 straight games?
Just being overall mentally prepared throughout the week. Coach Bass makes a very good point of it's about the practices, not just about the games. And then Monday through Thursday, we've just been very mentally focused, less mental errors, and that just helps us. And that's it.
That's all we have for Yash. Stay tuned for a special interview with defensive coordinator Coach Collins.
To Prospect Football Weekly, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings in Mount Prospect. I'm here with defensive coordinator Brock Collins. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Hey, my pleasure.
What is attributed to the defense's recent success, only allowing 7 points in the last 2 games?
I think schematically what we've tried to do is put our players in the best position for them to succeed. So, we've done a couple things schematically to allow that to happen. And I think the kids have really bought into it, and they've played hard. So, there's a nice mixture between the scheme and their efforts that has led to, what you just said. Yeah.
What adjustments has the defense made throughout the year to limit the opposition's offense?
Well, there have been some games we haven't really limited the opposition's offense, unfortunately. But I would say, Yash was on here earlier, and he was exactly right. Our whole motto this year has been to attack. So some days we've done that better than others, but that's our goal, is to make the offense uncomfortable. So we don't want to give the quarterback time to sit back in the pocket and feel comfortable throwing the ball. We don't want the offensive line to feel comfortable with their blocking scheme. So the more we can get them thinking and feeling uncomfortable, the better.
What players have stood out to you in recent weeks as key contributors to the defense's success?
Well, there's been a lot, which is a good thing. First and foremost, I got to mention number 54, Brennan Keene. Have you seen him out there?
Yes.
Flies around. Flies around. I think, him, also Shafis, Michael Shafis, Adam Mecki. I don't know if you can tell I coach the linebackers, but that's all the linebackers there. But they've been doing a really nice job. Recently, I think Yasher has stepped up, played the run exceptionally well. In the last week, we actually had a couple guys get interceptions. That's when the defense catches the ball the quarterback throws, which is something we forgot how to do for a while. But we've been doing it in recent weeks, so hopefully that can continue.
What does the youth of this year's defense mean for the future of this team?
Well, hopefully it means good things. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen in an off season. You can't rest on your laurels, so to speak, and just think that this season is going to translate to success next season. We got to have some guys, if they are, our youth that's coming back, they have to have good off seasons, commit themselves in the weight room to getting faster, to learning the game. So I think it bodes well. There's potential there, but it's certainly not causational, if you get what I'm saying.
I do.
Okay.
What will the defense need to do to contain Hersey quarterback Owen Goldsberry?
Well, there might be times where we just won't. That's a possibility. But it's not going to be any kind of special game plan. The idea is, if you fly to the ball, if you play good team defense, whenever there's a player on another team who has the potential to be a game breaker, and they're not a one-man show. It's not just Goldsberry. They've got a couple other good kids on their team too. If you play good team defense, if you rally to the ball, if you do your job every play, things take care of themselves. We're not asking Yasha to go out there head-to-head with number 11, okay? It's our 11 against their 11.
What will be the main emphasis defensively in practice this week?
What it always is.
What would that be?
That's attack.
Perfect.
There it is.
That is defensive coordinator Brock Collins. Thank you. Stay tuned to special guest Pat McPartlin. Welcome back to Prospect Football Weekly, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings in Mount Prospect. I'm here with special guest Pat McPartlin. Pat, thanks for coming on.
Glad to be on the show.
What has the student section, the underground, done this season to promote the football team?
I think we've done a lot to promote the football team, but not only the football team this year. We've tried to get students to other sports as well, but I think specifically football, we've done a lot through morning announcements, just commercials. We've tried to get some themes going, and I think one of our big staples through football season has been the color throw on homecoming, and I think we try to get a lot of fans out for that game too.
What has been your favorite part about leading the underground on Friday nights?
I think my favorite part is just being in the front and representing our student body and helping by show that we, the underground, are Prospect and we just represent the school. Additionally, being on halftime with the drum line has really been my favorite part, just because we get to interact with the fine arts aspect of the school, additional with the athletics aspect.
What has been the most exciting part about watching the football team this season?
I think the most exciting part has been definitely that last Friday's game against Elk Grove. I mean, that big win. It was really fun watching a lot of the seniors on the team win in their last home game, and I think definitely having them come over and sing the fight song was a special moment for the senior football players and the senior fans in the student section, just because it's the last time that we'll be able to do it in George Gaddis for the year.
What does the underground have in store for the final game of the season this week?
We're gonna get a neon theme going for Hersey, and we're hopefully gonna try to get a lot of fans there for a good game. So it should be fun.
Thank you, Pat. That's it for Pat McPartlin, and stay tuned for Jack Ankeny to preview Week 9 matchup with Hersey with Coach Sebastian.
Welcome back to Week 9 of Prospect Football Weekly, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Mount Prospect. Coach Sebastian is back to preview the game against Hersey. So, Coach, coming off of 2 straight wins, describe the confidence the team is playing in going into their matchup against Hersey.
Well, hopefully we're confident in terms of the fact that we've shown that when we practice well, we can play at a higher level than what we maybe did at earlier points of the year. I think our defense is pretty confident in what they do. But we need to understand that we're obviously going to step up in a level of competition this week. Hersey's obviously been a very successful football team. They're 4-0 in the East. They're 7-1 overall. They've put together a fantastic season. So we're going to have to really be on task to what we need to accomplish to kind of pull off the victory here on Friday night.
Okay. So what will the defense specifically need to do in order to limit their quarterback, Owen Goldsberry?
Tackle him again. Feel free to tackle him again. I don't think, being a little sarcastic, I don't think we can focus on one kid. Our defense is really focused on the idea of making sure that we continue to play team defense and play multiple things. They have multiple guys. They have two really good running backs. Luke Sakala is a senior running back for them who's done a fantastic job over the last 2 years. They have a sophomore running back who is really impressive. Their two receivers are very good kids. Their line's a phenomenal line. I like watching them play. They're a complete offense. So if we get fascinated, with one guy, you're at that point going to be in a situation where you're going to let other people beat you. We've got to be fascinated with the offense and focus on what we need to do to take care of business with that entire offense. And I think that's going to really be the focus this week, is really that offense more than anything else, not one person or one situation. So, and I think if we can just play our game we'll give ourselves a chance to be in position to make plays, and then we just have to execute.
Okay. So coming off the team's highest offensive scoring week, what will the team need to do to continue that success?
Well, it would help if we continue to work in practice this week. We're going to have to execute at a much faster rate this week, just to make sure that we are prepared to take on what's going to be a pretty solid defense. Hearst has only given up 60 points all year defensively, and 20 of it was last week. So you're talking about a defense that averages giving up about 8 points a game. We've got a lot of work ahead of ourselves to get ourselves ready for being in this football game. We're going to have to execute great in practice this week. We're going to have to maybe do some things that are out of the ordinary and make them have to kind of react. There might be a formation that shows up that hasn't shown up in a while, and just go from there.
Okay. So though the team is out of playoff contention, how motivated do you think you guys will be come Friday night, last game, trying to take down the division champs?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us at this point is to understand that it's their last game.
Mm-hmm.
It's their last opportunity to play in a Prospect uniform as seniors. For our juniors and our sophomores that are playing, it's their last opportunity to play with this group. The 2017 team will never exist again after this. And while the sophomores and juniors might play together again, and they'll still play Prospect football, they're never playing with these 15 kids that they've played with for now the last year or 2 years. So it's a unique experience that they need to take advantage of. It's their last game. You're not in a situation where you get any other opportunity going forward. So you better make sure that you take advantage of the opportunity you have here. It's the last time many of our kids will ever put a uniform on and play football. They're not going to go play in college. What do you want that last 48 minutes to be remembered for? What do you want that last 48 minutes to be as an experience? Because that's forever. It's done after that. You don't get it back. So hopefully, we will come out and execute and play with a great effort, a great mindset to fight, to have the courage to continue to battle back and forth with these kids. And, if we can do that, I think we're in a good position where we can play a great football game and, absolutely be, in a game in the fourth quarter with a chance to be successful. We're going to have a great week of practice, though, to do that.
Okay. So after mixing in some guys last week, do you foresee any changes offensively or defensively?
Not really. I mean, I think we're continually mixing and matching a little bit, like our receiving core. So we might have some guys kind of get a chance to continue to work into the mix there. But I think we've kind of found a nice pattern with some of what we're doing at this point. I think we're just going to continue to push that going forward.
Okay. What will be the biggest factor in the team ending the season on a 3-game win streak?
Winning. You'll get that 3-game win streak if you win. I think the biggest factor is the same thing that's been the factor from really the first show that we did, and the start of the summer and what we've talked about. We've got to have a great practice week. We've got a great focus to what we're doing in the practice week, what we're trying to accomplish. We've got to have a great mindset to what we're trying to do on the field Monday through Thursday to get ourselves to what we want to accomplish on Friday. We are going to play a team that is bigger, that is faster, and that is more athletic than we are. Great, wonderful. There have been a lot of Prospect football teams that have played teams that are bigger, faster, more athletic than us that we've beat because there's a great mindset to what we're trying to do, and we've had a great practice week historically. we've got to have one of those weeks again and have that type of effort to make this, a successful experience. And look, if we practice well all week and we play our tails off, whatever happens on the scoreboard is what happens on the scoreboard. We'll live with that. I think that's the most important thing, is just having a great effort week, having a great practice week, and going out and put everything out on the line. We have, I've had some people say to me at this point, oh, you got nothing to lose. Well, that's wrong. We have everything to lose. This is our last opportunity. For people who say, you got nothing to lose, that's a loser's mentality. I don't agree with that statement in any way, shape, or form. I believe in the concept of we have everything. Everything is in front of us that we want to accomplish, and someone's trying to take that from you. We have everything to lose. Mm-hmm. So we better this is our last chance. We better defend it. We've got to go out and attack it. I want everything to be successful. Coach Mirandola talks about the idea of everything to win. That's the mentality here. I got this day in front of me. I got a day to be successful. Can we be more today than we were the day before? So that's really our focus, is we've got a great opportunity sitting in front of us 3-4 days from now. What are we doing to accomplish, what we want to get to that opportunity, and understand this is our last shot. We better make sure we take advantage of it with the greatest opportunity of our season here and greatest effort of our season. Leave it right. You leave it right. You finish right, and that's really our goal this week.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach Sebastian, and that should do it for the 2017 edition of Prospect Football Weekly, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. We will see you for basketball season.